Brightly bouncy individual, Nick Kershaw, in a short space of time, has captured the teen market and made it his own. Writing his own songs and getting a recording deal proved a turning point in his life. Everything else just fell into place. Witnessing him playing at the stadium was enough to convince the most harsh critic that here indeed was someone to steal hearts. A pop star pure and simple that graces bedroom walls all over the country. Having found a quiet garden bench, I just couldn't resist the opportunity to discover his secret. You've had a busy day because you're in the middle of, or rather at the end of this European tour now. Mm-hmm. What does it feel like a year on when you were doing something? You were in a Dole office or something, weren't you?
No, well, not a year ago. That was sort of 5 or 6 years ago. I worked for 3 years in a Dole office. But this time last year I was in the middle of recording the album.
How does it feel now to come along? You've 3 hit singles.
Confused.
Really? Bit of a bemused musician maybe, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all been a bit weird for the last 7 months or so.
What's it been like? I mean, really tell me what it's been like, because from nothing really, straight up.
Yeah, well, it happens quite gradually. I mean, it happened very quickly, but you see, all I knew about to start with was just playing the guitar, writing music, and recording songs. Is what I knew about. And all of a sudden, someone says to you, "Right, you're on telly on Thursday." You go, oh, all right, and all of a sudden you have to start getting into that, which is a totally separate part of the music business, the promotion part, the televisions, the interviews, the photo sessions, and I've learned so much over the past 7 months about that side of it. It's unbelievable. So in other words, you started out, you said, I'm going to play my guitar, I'm going to play songs, if people like them, good, if they don't, well, that's equally good. And you wanted to be like the old adage, the rock and roll musician. That was your whole idea. Naive enough to believe that that's how it still happened. But there's a lot more to it than that. Did you feel manipulated at the beginning? No, not manipulated, not in any kind of malicious way. I mean, there are certain times at the beginning where I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was under the influence of other people saying, well, I think this will be a good idea, and as I didn't know any better, I said, okay, let's do this, and consequently made quite a few mistakes. But it's all learning. But maybe you were better to take that advice at the time. Oh, I think so. I mean, you can't. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, but you cannot possibly look back and say, well, if I hadn't have done that, maybe this wouldn't have all happened. I don't know. So I don't regret anything. So how did the whole image thing come about? Did they say, hey, wait a second, we can do something here, or did you say to them, I think I can go a certain way? Well, basically, I didn't have any idea. So we got a stylist in, and I never went into anything I didn't agree to in the first place. It wasn't like that. It wasn't say, right, let's dress him up and let's do this. I still had a mind of my own, except that I didn't know what to think myself. That's the trouble. So it was basically a system of the girl going out buying clothes, coming back and saying, "What? I think this will look good." And saying, "All right, I'll put it on." And everyone says, "God, that looks great. That looks really good." And I go, "Yeah." You wouldn't have bought it yourself, in other words, but well, I don't know. I think sometimes I thought, maybe it does look good. But I look back at some of the photographs and stuff. I think, what? And it's because in Germany there's it's about 3 months behind, and I was over there a while back, and all the photographs on the front covers of the magazines are the ones about the first ones I did. And I thought, oh no, you got to live with those. I really look like that, yeah. But it's all part of growing up. But where do you fit into the image now? I mean, you're doing so well at the moment with the single, the third single. I mean, we call it it is the third single. Mm-hmm. We won't call it the fourth, because a lot of people are confused, aren't they? Yes. The fact that it's a re-release. You do, yeah. How do you fit into the fact that you've got bands like Wham around, you've bands like Duran Duran, and you're pigeonholed amongst them? How do you? It doesn't bother me. I mean, things change all the time. The second album, maybe it'll be different. I don't think. Maybe the press won't make any difference anyway to the press, but it doesn't worry me. I mean, people are still buying it. I think most people are buying it for the right reasons, because they actually like it. Yeah. And it doesn't influence me in any way. I don't think, right, the next time I record an album, the next time I write a song, it's got to be like anything in particular, because I've got, as far as the actual music goes, if you listen to the album, there's no particular one musical direction. That's right. Of any description. Right. So I haven't got any kind of restrictions. Wouldn't It Be Good is still my favourite single in 1984. What was the idea behind the song? Because the video's a bit odd. The song itself lyrically is about, like, each verse it could be a different person saying, look, I've got problems. Look, you can't realise how bad I've got it. I've got this happening to me. I've got this happening to me. You're all right. And the other bloke's saying, look, you think you got it bad. Look, And it's basically about everybody always wanting it better than they've got it. Everybody wanting somebody else's car, somebody else's wife, whatever. And it's pointless. It's just so stupid, and you get yourself in such a state about it. And the best thing to do, as far as I'm concerned, is just find out what you do best and do it to the best of your abilities, and sort of just be yourself.
Because I remember watching the video and trying to figure out what was this spacesuit job and what was this, the rockets and everything.
Yeah, well, that takes it a bit further in that the bloke, the spaceman as such, has the power to take on other people's feelings, actually has the power to do that, and to be someone else has the power to do that. And he figures out that maybe it's not so much fun after all, and maybe you'd like to go home.